Guys, welcome back to Janice Budgets. This channel is about following me on my journey to becoming financially independent. I actually forgot the intro. I haven't done this in 6 months, and I'm sorry if the video keeps shaking. I'm balancing this selfie stick in between my legs to make this work, so I'm sorry, I won't laugh. Because it's gonna move a lot. Okay, anyways, it's been a while. I think my last video I talked about this whole coronavirus thing, and at that time my mindset was very messy. It was all over the place. I didn't know what to expect, and I just moved back to the farm with my family, and it's been a ride. It's been crazy. I think right now I'm better mentally and spiritually. I've gone through some things, of course, not worse things than other people, but I've had a sudden change in myself to really improve and focus on what I need to do with work and life and everything. So I just want to give you an update. This video is just an update of where I am right now and what I'm going to be doing with my cash envelopes. So I've been in the farm for nearly 6 months, and I love it. We're very blessed that our business is still going strong, if not getting better. During COVID, we're blessed that we don't have to retrench or let go of our staff. We're still able to recruit more people in our company, which is a great thing. We're providing livelihood to people who need it, and we are also getting raw material suppliers that that are supplying raw materials to our company, and we're seeing that they really appreciate that there is a buyer for these raw materials and packaging materials. So all in all, we're doing really great. If anything, during these 6 months, I've been extremely busy with our orders, with preparation, with our inventory. I realized in our family business that there was a lot of things to improve, and I didn't realize that until I came back to the farm. So it was just like an overhaul of things we needed to do, and it's good that I have my sister with me, so we could really manage it better and really systematize the whole company better. Since my dad is really busy in the farm and my mom's busy in the garden, they don't really have time to do this. So it's really our job and our responsibility to do it. And we don't mind. We really want to work with our family business. So, because we really support the vision and direction and everything. So it's really a blessing for us that we've been busy this whole time. So with that said, I have been getting my regular 25,000, but my 10,000 I've set aside, so I have not been receiving the complete amount. I've only been receiving 15,000. And just also an update, I think throughout this journey, Raph, my boyfriend, and I have been combining our finances, and I think that was easier because we both lived in the same place. And since Raph is still in Cebu and I'm in the farm, it's really difficult to track our combined expenses. So we both decided, I think it was on April, to separate our expenses altogether, and we just split the rent, Wi-Fi, Netflix, and our bunny budget. So in terms of grocery, it's up to him to buy his own groceries and all his fun budget and all that. We don't get allowances anymore. We just depend on how much we are earning. So he currently, in terms of the amount of money that we're receiving, he earns more than I do. But at the same time, he also spends more than I do, because in the farm, everything's free: accommodation, electricity, Wi-Fi, food. Especially food is the biggest thing, and we're in the farm. It's really not really difficult, but I'm lazy and I don't want to go out to the market to buy something, so I would rather just stay in the farm and not really go out and buy anything. And if we do buy something, my parents would pay for it. Even though we insist on splitting it or whatever, they don't mind paying it, and I don't mind getting things for free. So in that case, I'm saving more here. If anything, I'm saving my complete 15,000 pesos that I've been receiving. So, but besides the allocated amount that I have to split with Raph. So even though he is currently living in Cebu, the Wi-Fi, Netflix, and rent, Wi-Fi, and Bunny budget that he is he's supposed to take care of. I decided to split with him since it is a huge impact to his savings, and I don't mind also since I'm not spending anything. So basically per month I'm spending around 3,700, 4,000, which is still fine for me. So at the beginning of the lockdown, I sent Raf enough for 5 months, my share for 5 months, so that's really good. And I didn't have to worry about spending anything. So I haven't really been doing any cash envelopes because I realized that if I'm in the city, I use cash envelopes more. But since I'm in the farm and I don't spend anything, there's like really no use. So what I've been doing with the money that I've been receiving, so I gave Ralph 4,000, then I have like 11,000 left. I have 1,000 to, I don't know, give a little bit to the church whenever we go to mass every Sunday. I would spend on little chocolates to give to my nieces and nephew. I've been doing this thing where if they do something for me, I would give them like a chocolate gold coin. But I think it backfired because whenever they do something, they ask for something in return. So I don't think that was a good idea. What else? I think I've written some things down. So yeah, since I've not been spending a lot of money right now, I've been putting the complete like 11,000 or something straight to the stock market. And since Raph and I have a joint account already, we would only put in the amount that the other person is putting in. For example, if Raph has an extra 3,000 for the month, I would match it with another 3,000. So we have 6,000 to spend, and we decide on what to do with that 6,000. And I've also made my own personal account because there has been a time or a lot of several times where we disagree on what stocks to buy with the money that we have. Ralph is more aggressive, I'm more conservative, so I decided that to make it easier, I want to make my own personal account and just fund it with mutual funds. I've put in FMETF, which is a stock, and AREIT, which is a real estate stock. So I've been putting it towards long-term, very conservative funds, and our joint one, I'm still not disregarding it, but that's for Raf to play around a little bit more. And I don't mind, I would match his at any time, but currently we have a lot of stocks at the moment, which is a bad thing as a newbie, but we just decided to go long term instead because the stock market is not doing really well right now. But it's good to just keep on putting in funds regularly because everything is on sale right now, so might as well put a little bit per month. So that whole like probably 10,000 I've been putting to the stock market, if it's my own or if it's a shared stock market, stocks between Raph and I. So I've decided to go back to cash envelope because I realized that there are birthdays coming up. Actually, my sister's 18th birthday was a few days ago and I didn't have a gift prepared. I just assumed I had cash with me and I would give her just money because it's really difficult to order something online. It has to go through Cebu. I'm not sure if it goes directly to the farm. I think if it does, it's more expensive. And since we trade our products from our farm to Cebu, I would rather just have the product shipped to Cebu and then our staff in Cebu just bring it overnight to our farm. So, yeah. So I didn't want to give her money. I didn't want to give her something that she didn't really need. So I decided to just tell her I will give you 2,000 pesos worth of any mutual funds that you want in my personal account. Then if you leave it for how many years, whatever the returns are, I will give it to you. And I think that's really important to show her the value of investments, and I think she's really looking into what mutual funds she wants. But that's my birthday gift, and I think I'm going to be doing that with my sister and my next sister. Her birthday is on sorry. My next sister, her birthday's on October. Same with my dad. And my brother's birthday is on January. So I think I have to start putting in a little bit per month for their birthdays. And I think I'm just going to be doing the same, mutual funds. What else? So currently I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8, 9, 10. 5, 9, 10. Is that right? Oh my gosh. I'm so not used to having money with me, honestly. Sorry if it's not clear. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 5. 1, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so 5, 9, 10. Okay, 5, 9, 10. So I have 5,910 with me. I have to put 1,500 aside to Raph, because he for September's bills. He actually will be coming to the farm this month. He is an LSI. He'll be staying with us for the rest of the period. My brother is currently in quarantine together with my uncle and my cousins, so they'll be coming to the farm soon. And I think that's better because Raph actually has asthma. So being in Cebu, where the number of cases are extremely crazy, I think it's better if he's in the farm, because currently our town of like 50,000 people, there are no positive cases at the moment, thank goodness. Yeah, so I think it's better. There's a lot of fresh air, fresh food, and it's all organic. So I think they would just have a better time here, like spiritually and mentally. And if Ralph doesn't have a job, since our company is doing really well during COVID, we don't mind involving him with the company. But first, we need to really we really need to establish our family constitution before we invite any boyfriends or in-laws or even cousins and uncles and all that to be in the family business. I think we have to have a strong family core values and really make strict rules regarding the whole company. And I think that's really good to establish longevity in the company. What else? Oh yeah, so short term, that's what I'm going to be doing. Just preparing my cash envelope for just birthdays and Christmas. I apologize to my cousins and relatives that have birthdays. I usually have my family go with me. We usually go as a family to these birthdays, and my parents would bring a gift, and I just like ride with their gift because I cannot spend anything, because we have like a million relatives, and if I buy them all a gift, I think that would be very difficult. And if I just buy a few one gift and then not the others, I think that's unfair. So if my parents bring a gift, I will say it's from all of us. Yes, I'm sorry, it's pandemic. Also, I recently have been invited. I recently got invited to a not real estate. What am I talking about? A webinar on estate planning. So my friend from USC, from San Carlos, he invited me to a, what was it? What was the insurance company? What was that? Insular Life, yeah. So he invited me to an estate planning, and I really value his opinion, and I really appreciate how he's actually the reason, not the reason I got into stock market, but he was the benchmark, the stepping stone for me getting into the stock market, because he invited me to a seminar, and when I went there, usually when I go to seminars, I feel like they're really sketchy. I really don't believe in pyramid schemes and all that on networking. So I was really skeptical at first, but knowing him, I wasn't completely worried. So when I went there, they gave an introduction to the stock market and everything, and my eyes just blew wide open, and it just gave me things to research on and what to look for. And after that, that's whenever he invites me to a seminar, I'm like, yes, I'm there, I'm going. So this seminar is about estate planning, and I really appreciate it because it's something that I realized that we needed, that we didn't have in place already. So my dad has a lot of assets, my mom has a lot of assets. Initially, we wanted to put all our assets into a okay, I think that's more really personal. I think I won't divulge into that right now, but maybe in the future. So basically, we need to have a proper estate planning, and we have to talk about things properly as a family. And not only do you talk about assets when a family member is about to die, but I think it's really important to talk about assets as soon as you have those assets. So even now, even if I'm not valued a lot, I have stocks in the stock market. I have things. So if I die, I want to make sure that my family members don't fight over my things. I have a proper will and allocate those things to each one of them. I don't believe that everyone gets everything equally. I don't believe that, for example, if I have 10 siblings and I give them like 10% each of my cash, 10% each of my stock market, that's unfair. I think I will give one my stock market, but the other one I'll give my land. I don't have any at the moment, but like if I did, I'd give him my land. The other one, I'd give them my house. The other one, I'd give them my car, just to like, I think everyone needs things differently. For example, if I have my kids and one of them is really into traveling, the other one wants to have like 5 million kids, I could give the 5 million kids child a house for them to stay, and it doesn't mean that I need to give the other one who likes to travel a house because they probably won't spend a lot of time in it since they're always traveling. Maybe I could give them stocks or just cash for them to go on their travels, that kind of thing. So we really needed to go through that, and I didn't believe in like life insurance. I think my parents do. I'm not sure what kind of insurance, but I think that they're paying for us at the moment, but I sort of want my own. Recently, a close family member died, and I don't want to, and I think that just really, gave me not really gave me an idea, but like just inspired me to really secure what happens to me after I die. So my parents or my family won't have to worry about it. Everything's settled. So I'm thinking into going into insurance, and I don't think I started really early because my parents were not avid fans of insurance. I think they wanted to put their investments more on business, on land, on assets, and instead of insurance. So I think they got scammed one time, our educational insurance or something. So I think they wanted to separate a bit from that, but I wanted to learn more about it and from the different types of insurance. And I think my friend that introduced me to the stock market on estate planning, I think I'm just gonna go talk to him and have an idea of what I'm looking for. So that's my short-term goal, looking into insurance. My I think more on life insurance. I don't think health insurance, because right now my mindset on health insurance is that if you get sick, you go to the hospital and everything. And even though you're young, you have to be careful and all that. Personally, for like VULs, I would rather control what I invest in the stock market than have it like an insurance and an investment. I'd rather have it separate at the moment. I don't know, my mind could change in the future. So this is where I am at the moment, and it is September 2020. So my long-term goals, which is very exciting, I want to eventually buy land in the farm. This COVID pandemic, I think, has made me realize that I want to stay in the farm. Oh, I'm sorry if my nails are dirty. I was touching some soil earlier and I didn't really wash my nails properly. I'm so sorry. I want to buy land eventually, even if it's a hectare or less than a hectare. I don't want to build a house in it because I still want to take advantage of living with my family, with my parents, because everything's free. And actually they don't mind. They actually want us to stay here as much as possible. So they're trying to make it very seductive for us, very alluring for us to stay in the farm. And it doesn't take much because we all just want to stay here now. My sister, who has been a very is always in Cebu, doesn't come to the farm that often, always makes excuses to stay in Cebu. When she came here during the pandemic, she's like, I'm not leaving. And she brought all her stuff from Cebu straight to the farm, and she's already built her nest. And I think I'm going to do the same. But I want to buy land, not to build a house in it. I want to plant cacao, coffee, falcata. Falcata is their paper trees. I see the market right now, I think like seedling is 5 pesos. You can buy it, or I think you can get it from the government for free. I think there's a livelihood program that you can take advantage of. Falcata is 5 pesos, and then in 5 years or so, one tree you can sell for 2,000 pesos. And then if you leave it for 10 or more years, it's 12,000. Depends on the width of the tree. So I think that's a very good investment, because even if you don't sell it, it still appreciates, and people use paper trees on cardboard, on bolseta bags, paper bags, veneers. Cacao and coffee is good, but we are living in a valley, and I think that's more suitable to more mountainous areas. We have mountains here, but I don't want to have land that's far from where our farm is at the moment. And yeah, I think I'm going to use the money that the company owes me, and I want to be able to save that amount without going and taking out a loan. I am allergic to loans. I have never taken a loan in my life. My parents have, and it's good because it really got us on our feet when we started the business. But if I can avoid it as much as possible, I would. So those are my two goals. The short term is more focusing on learning more about insurance. The long term goal is eventually buying land. And I think land still appreciates regardless of the time. My grandfather said the land before was like 30 pesos per square meter, but now I think it's even more, definitely even more. So yeah, I'm looking into that. So I'm sorry if this is not a cash stuffing envelope. I eventually will make, but it won't be long because there's really not a lot of things to stuff. I hope you guys are doing well out there. I know there are people who have flexible work hours, rotating work hours, and who have been laid off. And it's a crazy time that we're living in right now. And yeah, I just wish everyone is staying safe, taking care of your health. I've been spending the time in the morning working out, but I haven't lost any weight, unfortunately, because there's always food on the table. I don't have to cook my own food. I don't have to, be lazy about it. So I think I'm eating more than I should. I should be losing weight, but I'm still maintaining my weight. But at least that exercise can help my cardio and really, just boost my immune system. And that's what it's all about, right? At the end of the day. And I love it because I'm spending as much time as possible with people I love. I feel bad that I'm away from my friends. But this is only temporary. This will pass. We just have to hold on and just be very strong in the times to come, because we don't know what's going to happen. We don't know if there's a vaccine coming or how long it's going to take. So we just have to be patient and just keep a positive mindset. I've really changed spiritually. Before I was a non-practicing Catholic, but right now I think okay, sorry. Yeah, I was a non-practicing Catholic, but right now I have really focused on my spirituality and looking deeper into Catholicism and Christianity and finding hope in that. And I think that's really important at the end of the day, no matter what your religion is, as long as you are good to people, you have a positivity and a hope just to help other people. And I think it's a guide for me because I feel lost the past few months. So I think it's really good for me to put my feet on the ground and just like slap myself out of the face and be like, okay, we need to get things done. and how are we going to do those. So it really focuses on what I need to value in life, and I think I'm on the right track, especially sorting out my finances. Honestly, I do not, if there's another pandemic and if we don't have this family business, I think I would struggle, and I don't know what would happen to me. So right now I think I want to make my doomsday bunker in the farm. So get farmland. If things go, like if poop hits the fan in the city, at least I have a farmhouse to go to, or like a base that I can always go to whenever things in life keeps me down. So that's where I'm aiming for. And yeah, other long-term goals, Raph and I eventually want to get married. I think that I won't have a surprise. He'll kneel down in front of me and put a ring, and then there's someone hiding behind the bushes with a camera and my face is all shocked. I don't think I'll have that kind of engagement because I don't want Raph to surprise me with an engagement. I want to plan it out. I don't know what his ideas are, but I honestly don't want him to surprise me all of a sudden. I think if anything, I want to surprise my family that we're gonna get married, but I don't think they're surprised. I think they know that we're gonna get married eventually. So, yeah, I want to, plan out my life. I don't want to be like, okay, he may or may not propose, so it's up to him. It's more like, okay, Ralph, let's get married at this year so we can have a child in this year, and then do all these things. Because I have a lot of plans in the next 10 years, and I'm excited for that. That is what is keeping me going. And the things that I'm doing today, the habits that I'm doing today, is preparing me for those. And within the next 10 years, I want to have a child, my first child. I want to go back to school. I want to do a lot of things. I don't want to say it out yet because it's still in the plans, but eventually I want to do it. Oh yeah, speaking of, Ralph really got into biking, and he's been sending me all these biking stuff, information. I have no idea what it's about, but I really eventually want to, in the next 5 years, I think after COVID, and I want to travel around the Philippines by bike. So it's like bike touring, bike packing. Basically, you go around places with just your bike and even your tent, or you can stay in hostels or motels and all that. I think that's very exciting. I've been following a few YouTubers who have been bike touring, and I think it's just very exciting. And it's nice that Raph really enjoys it, and I want this to be something both of us will probably, take on in the future. I really want to bike around the world for 2 years, but I don't know. It's still in the plans. I'm trying to manifest it, trying to hope, like really hoping that it happens. So, oh shoot, I've been talking for nearly 30 minutes. I'm sorry if I bore you, but yeah, these are my plans, and I'm thinking of making more videos in the future. Probably not as often as I did, like a weekly video. I think it's just to catch up on what stocks I've invested in, maybe. Would that be interesting? And you can really see the up and down undulating look of the stock market. Right now we're bleeding. I think in our joint we are losing around 20,000 pesos. Was it either 15 or 20,000? It was lucky that we invested early on ICT, nickel, and forgot the other one. Ditto, the new telco company, and that's what's keeping us afloat. But in our joint account we're losing 10,000. In my personal account I think I'm losing 1 or 2,000 because the stock market right now is below 6,000 points. So yeah, but no worries to that. As long as I don't withdraw it right now, I think it's fine. But yeah, what else? So yeah, I haven't really been busy on impulse buys. I think like the idea of having those things delivered and it takes a long time has really deterred me from buying anything online. So right now all I'm focusing on right now is just to keep healthy in the morning, exercising in the morning to keep healthy, eating right, 24 hours working with a company, and my lingao, the thing that keeps that I enjoy doing that is my guilty pleasure is playing League of Legends, and it doesn't cost me a thing. I don't buy skins, I don't buy champs. I just play few champs and I'm satisfied. That's what I'm doing right now. Netflix, Spotify, Joe Rogan. That's it. I haven't been spending anything, and I think that I prefer this. Um, I think I've been so tihik. I've been so controlling over my money. Like my mom is getting worried because I have holes in my pants, and I don't mind as long as it's covering the private parts. I don't mind, but she gets worried when I go to church and I have holes in my knees and holes in my pants. And I was like, but God doesn't, you know, banish you from going to church if you've got holes. But I understand where she's coming from. I don't look presentable as much because these holes are huge. So okay, yeah, that I think I have to. And she buys me clothes. I tell her not to, but she buys me those. The clothes are really nice, and I feel guilty that she's paying for me. I told her I'll pay her back, but she's like, don't pay me back. I think she just wants us to be happy because we're in the farm. So this is her soft power. She wants to persuade us to stay in the farm, and she's doing a good job because we don't want to leave anymore. So yeah, we go ukay ukay, like thrift store buying stuff. I think if I spend 50 pesos or like $1 on a shirt, that's like me sweating. I'm scared. So like one time, oh shoot, it's getting long. Anyways, quick story. My Nike shoes that I bought 5 years ago, I bought it for 3,500 at a wholesale or like an outlet store, and it's like original. I hope. It's original, so it's been doing such a good job. But since I've been in the farm and there's a lot of mud, there's a lot of jogging, there's a lot of rocks and all that, it has really tore down my shoes to the point where I can't fix it anymore. And I fixed it twice already, like the soles, I fixed it twice. Right now, it's like it's unbearable. I can't buy it anymore. So I bought Nike shoes online because I knew that I have a history of Nike shoes lasting me a long time. So I bought it online because there's no Nike stores in our region. So I bought it online. It hasn't arrived, and my shoes were already bad. So I found some rubber shoes from a thrift store. The problem finding shoes in a thrift store is if you find a perfect one, but it doesn't have your size, that's like that sucks. But perfect thing that I bought a pair of shoes, 600 pesos, from the 4,000 pesos that I budgeted to buy shoes. It's only 600. So it's probably like, how much is 600? Like $12, I think. And even though they're used, I don't mind because if these shoes break again because of all the mud and all the, all the rocks, I don't mind because it's only 600. But if I wore Nike shoes that cost me 4,000 pesos around, I probably wouldn't go around because I don't want it to get muddy because I spent 4,000 pesos on it. And if I lose those shoes, I don't mind. I could just go back to the store. But if I lost my Nike shoes, I will be so depressed. So yeah, that is why my mom is worried for me, but I think that makes me happy knowing that I'm saving as much money as possible, and I am not, I don't feel guilty spending that money as long as it helps me, in my opinion. Yeah. So, okay, enough talking. I've been rambling. I think this is like 6 months worth of things that I wanted to talk about, but I'm done. Totally done. Yeah. So thank you for watching up to this point, and I hope you stick